Hi, I'm Sharanya Eshwaran. I'm the founder of Pentad Academy. And we are bringing you this weekly podcast, SQUARE1, where we are trying to build a roadmap for your child's stellar career. I am an accidental entrepreneur. I stumbled into being an entrepreneur. But then when I look back, before this entrepreneurship, I was a microbiologist. But I also was a accidental microbiologist because I never knew there was a course called as microbiology until I went to college and picked up that brochure and saw that in the brochure. So what I see is that there are many of us who have stumbled into a job or who never realized that there were jobs like this too, right? And most of us would have picked a career just because a friend of us took the same thing, or our teacher or lecturers told us to, or our parents asked us to take this course or your career. So we are bringing here people from different professions who could give you an idea, an insight into their job, their educational journey, and the salaries and other things related to their profession. So one of the new or a different career you never would have thought of or heard of is an embryologist. Meet my longtime friend, Gcitha. She is an embryologist, and today she'll give you an idea what are the courses she studied, what are the jobs she took up, and what are the kind of salaries you might get, and what is the opportunities in that field of embryology. Right? Hi, Gcitha.
Hi, Sharanya.
To begin with, I just want to ask you, you are an embryologist, right? So tell us, what does an embryologist mean? Like, what do you do, and what does your job actually involve?
Yeah, I am a proud embryologist. So I deal with embryos, which is made up of it's a combination of oocyte and sperm. It's a natural process which undergoes in a human body, female human body, and female, she will deliver and she will give a baby. So that is a wonderful thing which will happen into a couple with a couple. That such a blessed work I'm doing. So I'm proud of an embryologist.
Awesome, no, what a job to be in. But tell me, what exactly would your job would look like? Like in a day, what would an embryologist do? And I think before that, tell me, where do you work?
Okay, I work in Cloud9 Hospital in Sakanaga branch. So my work is it's very accountable, and it's very liable and very responsible. So it's like when I enter into the lab, I need to maintain everything according to the human uterus, how it will act, so that the baby will grow so much comfortable. That coziness will be there in the uterus, so that needs to be there. So I take care of my lab like that. Like, I think as soon as I enter into the lab, I think that it's a kind of uterus where I will be growing the embryos, and so that the one cute little baby will come out one day. It's like we have certain incubators which act like a uterus.
Right. So you work in a hospital, and mostly you work in a lab setup, which is basically a virtual uterus. Is that right?
Yes. It's a kind of like that. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, how does a day-to-day work would look like for an embryologist? So what do you do in a day, like a typical day of an embryologist?
Okay, we are the behind scene skilled people, where we will deal with the different IVF techniques, retrieve the oocyte until the oocyte will get into the embryo. Then we will transfer the embryo into the uterus. So these are the skill the embryologists will be having, and they will be dealing with all these procedures.
Okay, so we assume that it's the doctors who do all these things. So what do the doctors do? What does an embryologist do?
Yes, doctors are the main face, but we are background skilled people, where we will deal with the main things. They will also do the main, like counseling the patient for the IVF treatment, and so certain procedures are there. They need to take certain medications and all. So down the lane, they will come to us. Then we will deal with the cells like eggs and sperms, and we will develop the embryo.
So they are the face of the hospital, and you guys are the arms and legs of the hospital. Could we say
Yes,
that? I just have to give a little bit brief about ourselves. Like, we have been friends for like 20 years. And I remember us going around colleges wondering what to study and where to go and how to, even where our lives are going to end up. But today we are wherever we are, and we are doing great jobs. And, listening from you, knowing all the work you're doing. You have studied MSc Biotechnology, right?
Yes.
So tell me, how do you relate from there to here? So before we get into the job, tell me about your, educational journey. What all did you study? What are the courses you took from 10th standard? After 10th standard, what did you do?
After 10th, I took PCMB in PUC. So, as you told earlier, as everyone told that after you need to take science, or if you want to go do doctor or engineer, you need to take certain courses. So I had a dream to become a doctor. So unfortunately, it didn't happen. But whatever I am today, I feel very proud of myself. So it's like after the PUC PCMB, I was like searching what is the booming field, whatever the booming.
I remember that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you study PCMB, the only thing you can become is a doctor. If not, what else do you do? I was in a panic when I decided that, okay, doctor is not something I can be, or medical course is not something I can be in. So it was a huge panic for us to even find a different course.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, true. And it was like kind of like when we got to know that course is there in biotechnology and it's booming now. And we thought, oh my God, so we will just get into that, and we will, like, as a doctor, something miracles, we will do it in taking the course biotechnology, and we were thinking so many things. Unfortunately, we didn't finish in biotechnology.
I remember that, I took the course. I saw the brochure in JS's Women's College where we studied. And I saw this course, BSc in microbiology, biotechnology, and biochemistry. The word seemed really cool, and that was the only reason I took that course. Not just because, I knew what they were and what we were going to do with it, right?
No, I was skeptical about microbiology because I don't want to deal with any microorganisms. So I thought, anyways, this is a new subject, so I wanted to go ahead with the biotechnology course. And those are the days where we were thinking that biotechnology is booming, and we will be having a very good career in those fields. So, yeah.
I remember in masters, after finishing our BSc, in masters, we were struggling to get a seat into Mysore University, and I actually wanted to get into my MSc Biotechnology. But then somehow the course was, I got in through my NCC quota, and I think you do the same, right? So that quota was given to someone else, and I ended up getting microbiology, and I cried for 2 days that, oh my God, I didn't get biotechnology. What am I going to do? Microbiology has no career whatsoever. But later, unless I got into the field and started searching for job, that's when I realized microbiology has a better job than, microbiologists get better jobs than biotechnologists. Isn't it?
Yeah.
We are a niche field where there are companies who are specifically looking for microbiologists, right? Yes. Pharmacies, food, and lot of things.
Everywhere. Most of the corporates and most of the factory outlets and all, everybody wanted either microbiology or biochemistry. Nobody was caring about biotechnology. It was like hell for us.
Chemistry was even a better choice for many of them who took, MSc chemistry, who did inorganic chemistry or even organic chemistry. But biochemistry was also a secondary option. But, for us, when we were looking for MA masters, especially biochemistry seemed to be like the most difficult ones, and, all that thing. But they were standing second to chemistry, the pure chemistry, compared to biochemistry. And I never knew that microbiology was such a niche job, and we were particularly handpicked by people to get a job compared to biotechnology.
You
Right.
know, I was very jealous of you when you were having your first job and I was doing nothing actually.
I
I was
remember
very
being jealous of you for getting masters in biotechnology, and I got microbiology. Like I said, the 2 days I cried at home, I was thinking
I,
about you, and how the time changes, right?
yeah, true. I know. Whatever happens, it happens for the good.
Right.
So,
So
so,
you ended up in a IVF hospital,
yeah.
right?
It
So from
was
there, tell me.
also, yeah, it was also like a luck. One of my friend, known friend before you also, she Revati. So she had told me that there is an opening in one of the center hospital as a lab technician. I
Right.
was not. I was not at all having any clue what is IVF
Mhm.
and which kind of hospital I'm getting into. So
Mhm.
I just thought they were a offer of a lab technician. So I was like, okay, I think I'm just dealing with bloods and all those cells, those kind of work might be there like that.
Right.
So then
Right.
when I entered there, then I was like, oh my god, this kind of field is also there, which we were not knowing. So
Right.
I was astonished actually.
So tell me, for an entry level microbiologist, I mean, what is the kind of salary you might expect? And going forward, I think you have about 10, 12 years experience now. So what is
Yeah.
the kind of salary you might, I mean, a person with 10, 12 years experience might get? So what is the kind of,
Approximately
range?
25 to 30 lakh per annum.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is like according to the experience, you'll be getting still more.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's equal to a software engineer right now, isn't it? With 10 years experience, I think they would be getting the same kind of salary. So for an
yes, but
entry level, what is the expectation? Like what could a student look for?
maybe approximately around 2 lakh 40,000 to 3 lakh to 60,000 per annum.
Yeah, that's
So
a good.
this will be the
I
for
mean,
freshers.
that's equal to a software engineer, right? They start with 2 to 3 or 4 lakh per annum, and they go
Hmm.
to 10, 12 lakhs per annum kind of idea.
Yes,
That's
it's quite
beautiful.
good. Yeah, it's quite good.
Right. So, how does I mean, what is the courses you could take? Even today, MSc biotechnology student can go for an embryologist job. Would that still
Yeah,
work?
earlier it used to be like that, but now we have a law. ART rules have come, so it's very strict. So the whoever the kids like whoever the pass outs are there, so they need to do MS in clinical embryology. That's
Clinical embryology.
yes, it's a clinical embryology we have, and after that they need work for 5 years in a hospital so that they are known to be an embryologist.
Okay, so this job as such comes with your skill set, right? It's just not
Yes.
about just like a doctor, because
Hmm.
just because you clear your MBBS, you're not a doctor yet, right? You need to
Yes.
specialize and you need to be a resident for a while. So it's something similar to that.
Yes. So that is why the new law has come saying that, see, after working, you are working for 5 years, then you will fine
Get
tune your
experience.
skills, and then you will get into the whatever the procedures and whatever the techniques we are using. So you'll be skillful. So that is
So
the reason.
after this 5 years, what is the kind of salary they could expect?
Um, the same thing like 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs per annum.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a handsome salary.
Yeah.
And it's
And
worth
we do
the five
have a
years.
freelancing options also. So certain peoples are doing freelancing also. So it is up to each person's how they want.
Or you can do a freelance job in the
Yes.
hospitals. So
Uh,
you can choose the cases you work on and you can choose not to work on rather than
yes.
being a full-time job and dedicating your time over there. So you
Yes.
get a work-life balance, I guess. So how does your work-life balance work? I know
Um,
for sure that you are a very, very busy person. We need to get appointments to talk to you on a call
oh,
even.
Not exactly. Whenever you call, I will attend. Okay, don't tell me. So it's hectic, and as I told you earlier, it's accountable. So we are very. It's a microscopic, skillful things what we are doing. So we need to be very careful whatever we are dealing with, and it is ethical issues might come. So for that reason, we need to be very very careful whatever the work we are doing.
So how does, like, if you take a case, like, how much time do you spend on that, and how do you balance your personal life and your career? I mean, are you working as hard as a doctor?
Yes, I think that is more than that, because we will strain our eyes, and and the techniques for whatever we will be doing, right? So it will be like very stressful for us, not only physically, and it's mentally is more.
So would you ask, I mean, if somebody wants to be a embryologist, would you recommend this, is my question.
Yes, I do. But that only, we need to be very skillful, and we need to be very responsible. This is what I wanted to become. Whoever was picking the embryologist course, so they want to be very responsible. So, and
what other soft skills would embryologists would need, other than like the technical skills which you work on?
Communication with the couple, so that we will convince the couple they will be undergoing very traumatic social traumas will be there in their personal lives and the social life, both everything. So we need to know how to counsel infertile patients. So communications will be the best, the soft skill.
So let's say, like, there are a lot of things you would have studied in school, because this question comes to you from my personal this thing, that there are a lot of people who say that, I studied this thing in school which I never use. The education, the syllabus what we have is not useful. I'm not a very big fan of that line. So I want to ask you, like, those things which you studied in your school, how much of them are you using here? I mean, if you can pick out like one or two concepts which you studied in school which you're using it today in your life.
This meiosis and mitosis, whatever we learned in 8th or 10th, in between those days. So these are all very knowledgeable, and it is very useful for this field. Because see, it's like kind of we'll be having a certain number of oocytes or eggs. So in that, certain oocytes won't be matured. So see, why it is not matured? Because of these meiosis is not underwent, or mitotic division is not underwent. So those are the things where we can relate it.
Okay. Because there are a lot of people who ask about, I studied about mitosis, meiosis, or cell division, or even cell mitochondria, which I never studied. So embryology is a field where you generally use these things, I guess, right?
That's why they prefer basic life science background for all these. Life science background for the embryologist who needs to become, and so that they will be knowing what are the basic. The cell division will comes like after the pickup, and when the embryo will form. So those are the all cell divisions only, right? And the division of cytoplasm. So underwent the division of cytoplasm, and how many hours it will do the cell division. So those are all the basic things we will learn from our school days. Now we are implementing it.
Right. So if you're doing masters in embryology, what is the course you might have to take in bachelor's?
It's a life science.
Technology.
Life science. Life science, biology. This one, basically it's biology, and any life science background, it's applicable.
So just for our viewers' sake, I'm giving an idea. Life science would mean microbiology, biochemistry, biotechnology, or I think botany, zoology would also be considered as life science. Chemistry and
chemistry is not, because they won't deal with biology things and all. Right. So this biology, zoology, and biotechnology, microbiology, all life science background is okay.
So doing bachelor's in these fields would help you get into
And they need to,
embryology.
in MSc by clinical embryology also they need to compulsory now, and they can become an embryologist.
Right. So there are hospitals, of course, IVF hospitals. But other than that, where else can they work? What else can they do?
No, most of the things it's in hospitals only, fertility hospitals where all embryologists can work, and apart from that, we can work in this genetic counseling, genetic genetic testing. In that also, they're very much needed.
So I understand you're doing a PhD now. So is that also an option? Like if you do a PhD, what else is there? Further going ahead for you in your career. What do you look forward to?
I wanted to research something in my field, so I have taken PhD. So, and more, as you told, it's like an enhancement to my career. So whatever I am now, so I wanted to be little more higher, and so that is the reason why I have taken PhD.
So there is that option also that you can do.
Yes, nowadays there are more options. That like after MS in clinical embryology, you can do PhD in clinical embryology. Then you can go into the research field also, as well as you can come into practical technical field, whatever we are working in hospitals. So you can join that also.
Right. In general, anybody, if they are looking forward to become a embryologist, what would you tell them?
It's good. You need to finish your master's in clinical embryology. So if you have done your basics in biology or any life science background, so you can always opt for MS in clinical embryology, and you can join and you can become an embryologist. It's a very beautiful field. As I told, I love to be in embryology, and I just see those are the moments where you will see the couple having their kids, holding their kids, and they will get to you. Then you will see whatever the hard earned fine tuning skills you have put to do the embryo that has become a beautiful baby. So those are the cherished, those are the moments. Then you will feel, wow, embryology and embryologist, to become an embryologist, it's like, wow.
Really awesome, right? You bring life into the world, basically, right? Yes. That's a beautiful job to have.
True.
Thanks, Gcitha. This was very useful, very insightful session. You gave us a lot of information, and I hope we keep bringing more and more professionals like this, where you can understand different fields which are out there, rather than just doctors and engineers, which we always look forward to. So that's our first episode, and thank you to Gcitha once again for joining us.
Thank you for giving me such a wonderful opportunity from your end, and to describe what is embryologist and what we do in the lab. Thank you.
Bye.